Jason Garman here with PressureWashHelp.com, and today I have the gutter cleaning king. That's right, he is the gutter cleaning king. He has buku loads of clients of gutter cleaning, and that has been his business for the last um, since '07 ish, and he'll tell you a little bit more about that. But he's actually going to start doing pressure washing. 2 years ago is how I kind of met him, is through the Christmas light side. He did Christmas lights last year, and actually he did it 2 years ago, and then last year he really killed it. And so this year he is starting to do a pressure washing side of his business. And so in this, we will kind of talk about a little bit about that and the processes that he may have issues, and I'm going to help him through that. But before we get to that, we're going to kind of talk about just kind of how he got to where he is, who he is, where he's from, and what his goals are, and what we can do to maybe help you also. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. We got some people on here already. We got about 25 people already. Hey. What up, Wade? Wade Pageant. What's up, Steve Martin? And so if you would, and if you, after this stream, go down in the description and subscribe to his channel. That will help him out also. So Donovan, tell me who you are and how and where you're from.
Hey, Jason. Thanks for having me. Obviously, my name's Donovan. I am a 30-year-old. I live in the North Carolina area right now, specifically Raleigh, which is sort of central North Carolina. I've been in business for myself right out of high school, so going on 13 years. Started out as a window cleaning company. My father, growing up, always had a window cleaning business. That's how he actually put himself through college. And he has more degrees than a thermometer. He's uber smart. He's a big old nerd, like chess player, science fiction. That's him. So he's a computer programmer, history major, mathematics major. But through all of that, like smart stuff, he always had a window cleaning company in case he lost his job or stuff like that. So as a young kid, I grew up going to clients' houses, cleaning windows and stuff like that. And right around the time I got interested in females, find out you got to have a little bit of money. So I started in high school cleaning windows, picked up a few accounts. And I remember one time in high school, I was for like a business class, I was asked to put together a business plan. And I went up and presented it in front of the class. And the teacher, like right after I got done presenting it, stood up and went ahead and like said all these things about how it wouldn't work. And I just stood there and listened. And I said, okay, that's great. By the way, I already own this. I'm already running this business, and I make more money than you working on the weekends. So that's sort of me, man. I've always been self-employed. Started out as window cleaning, and I transitioned to gutter cleaning. 2007. 2008's big economy crash. People aren't paying $400-500 to have their windows cleaned a couple times a year. So we transitioned into gutter cleaning because everybody needs to have it done, and goofed off with that for a few years, and then started taking it seriously. And the last couple of years have been pretty good.
Awesome. So we got some people in here. We got somebody from Greensboro, North Carolina, which I was there not too long ago,
Greensboro too.
and Connor Clark is. Yeah. So what? So tell me about your family. Do you got kids, that kind of thing, wife?
I do. I do got a beautiful wife. I got a 2-year-old daughter, two going on three, obviously. And I got Donovan Watts Questenberry the fifth is on the way, so he's due in August.
Gotcha. So
Two
two
Can't.
kids. So where are you originally from to have a last name of Quanzenberry or however you say it?
Questenberry. Um, we're from the Ohio area. There's a couple more of us up in that direction.
Gotcha.
That's where the family farm was at, and my dad moved us down here to North Carolina, and we've been in North Carolina for a while, though.
Gotcha. So, what has been the best marketing to get your gutter business to where it is now?
Um, signs, and more signs.
I think
Right.
I've said that a few times, haven't I?
Yep. Yes, you have. And right after that is do a good job and get a review.
How many signs you put out a week, or what's the most you ever put out in a week?
The most I've ever put out, I don't know. But I have each crew do 50 signs a week.
So you
So
have each crew that you have on right now put out 50 signs per crew.
yeah.
And how
So
and
I have them do 10 jobs a day is the goal.
how many
And
jobs?
10,
10.
10 houses a day.
Yep.
And so, you know how that goes. Some, larger houses might be less or whatever, but it averages out, 10 houses a day, they'll be done by 2, 3 o'clock. But if they do one sign in the yard and then one sign when leaving the neighborhood, you need to put the sign at the bottom of the stop sign when you are leaving the neighborhood. You put it right up against the stop sign so that the landscapers don't have to pick it up and move it whenever they're weed eating. So they can weed eat around it and they'll leave their sign alone. It's less, it's less work for them.
Right.
So that's 2 per house, and that's 20 right there in a, in a day if they do it that way.
And so how many crews do you have right now?
Right now, we got one in each of our service areas, and then I got I have other crews, but gutter cleaning crews, I got one for the Raleigh area and one for the Greensboro area.
Gotcha. Awesome. So what made you want to think about getting into the pressure washing business if you already got a successful gutter cleaning business?
Well, I have tried, I think, 3 times now on subbing my pressure washing work out to another company. And I find pressure washing companies who don't want to do gutters. They're not good at it. It takes them a couple of hours. They want to show up, wash the house, and leave, but all their clients ask for gutter cleaning, and they hate doing it. So I've tried. Hey, I'll send you pressure washing leads. You send me gutter cleaning leads. And sometimes that works well, but most of the time they end up stealing my leads, stealing my clients. They bleach a couch that I got to reupholster, or I've tried. And the guy last year, I sent him $150,000 worth of pressure washing last year. And then I look on Facebook and he's advertising for gutter cleaning. And I'm like, what, that $50 you just made, it just cost you 150 grand. So I just, I was like, it doesn't take a genius to do this. I mean, there's some nuances to it, but it's just another service, right? I already have the clients, so if I do no advertising, we'll get 100 grand this year just doing nothing extra. So for us, it's just all right. Well, it's time to do it, but I'm not doing it in all my cities right now. I'm just doing it in the main Raleigh area.
Gotcha. So Michael did ask if there's a channel. I did put his channel down in the description. He talks a lot about some of his business stuff on that channel. It's actually a pretty good channel to watch. He was talking how you should, one of the videos I watched is how you should take care of your employees. I know the one employee you said you've had for 9 years?
Yeah, not 9, 10 years, something like that.
So if you had been, and then your other employee you were doing a video with, you had for 4 years. So to keep that bit in, and this is a good point here, because a lot of guys want to know how to get employees, how to keep employees. And we were talking a little bit, it's hard to get employees, but to get those trustworthy employees that we can keep for that 9 years, 4 years, them are the kind of employees that we really want at the end of the day. And so how do we take, so my question to you is, how are you taking care of those that they want to keep coming back to work every day?
Yeah, well, don't be a dick. That's a good one right there. I think a lot of people in the service industry, like all of us guys, not all of us, but most of us are sort of like type A personalities, and we're sweating, we're cussing, we're a little rough around the edges, and sometimes we have faults and we try to push it on other people, or we try to be a boss instead of be a leader. So I think the first one is just be kind, just be respectful. I think that's a big one. I see a lot of people that I wouldn't work for them. Like, would you work for you? And that's one thing. The next thing is know what you're good at, know what you're not good at. So the guy that's been with me for 9 years, he has hearing loss. And he's always had it, but he didn't find that out till a little bit later in life. And so he's just not socially, he's really, really, really smart. He's really analytical, but his people skills are no bueno. So every time I get a call back, like, this person was rude, I got to explain, well, he has hearing loss. He may have just not heard you, or something like that. But the other side of that is that he can be a little stubborn and be a little rude. He's not like a perfect employee. He has faults. So I make sure that he doesn't go to jobs by himself where he has to interact with the clients. Like, that's not what he's good at. He just wants to work. Like, he don't want to talk to people. He doesn't want to explain, because he'll be like, no, listen, you're wrong. That's stupid. And I'm like, you can't say that to a client, but he would, right? So, I set him up for success by just letting him do what he's good at. I let him work. That's what he wants to do. And I hire somebody else. At one point, I actually hired somebody just to talk to clients so that he wouldn't have to. And that's all the other person did. They didn't do any work. They just talked to the clients and kept the clients out of his way so that he could work. So that's my other thing. Set him up for success. Hey, sweetie, how you doing? Set your people up for success. Know what they're good at. Know what they're not good at. And while you can have them work and get better at what they're not good at, like, if you can just keep them busy at what they're good at, they don't need to be a perfect salesperson or a marketing, just have them be a good worker. If that's what they're good at, let them work and then let them go home. Another big one. So we get really, really, really efficient with our work. Our average time for cleaning a house is like 15 minutes for gutter cleaning. That's our average time, even like these big 3,000-4,000 square foot houses. So if guys are getting 10 jobs done in a day, and that's the goal for the day, to get 10 jobs done, I pay them for the full day. Like, okay, cool. Have a good one. Like, goodbye, go home, or they sometimes on a Thursday, they're like, hey, we want to take Friday off. Can you move all the jobs on for Thursday? Yep. And then I let them take Friday. Like, I know what their reward is. Right. Some people are motivated by money, but a lot of people want time off. They're going to work their butt off so that they can take extra time off. That's another thing. And then when we talk about pay, I think that's the common question I see, like, everybody asking in all these groups is like, how do you pay your people? How do you do this? How do you do it? For us, what works really well is we pay our guys weekly. Now, we start them out as hourly while they're doing like a trial run. But after, a few months, 4, 5, 6 months, something like that, where I know that they're going to be with us long term, I pay them weekly. So if they do 2 jobs that week, they get paid the same amount as if they do 200 jobs. And they know that that'll average out. And then we give, ridiculous bonuses. So I think they got like 15 grand or something like that in January. I mean, like, I don't think anybody else has ever heard of a $15,000 bonus. So when I give a bonus, I want it to be like a ridiculous bonus. So pay the guys well, treat them well. It's simple, but there's kind of a lot to it.
No, that you put out some great points there, Donovan. One of them is take care of them, and another one is and it is something. Train them, make sure they know their job. Don't expect that they're just going to be like snap and they're this perfect employee. It's not going to happen. You have to. They're going to make mistakes, and you got to teach them. We can't just sit there and say, you got to be a better employee. Guess what? I make mistakes. We all make mistakes. Just because they're an employee don't mean that they're going to be perfect and they're going to hit it right. I've always said, if somebody can do 80% as good as I can, I'm happy with that, because in that 80%, it's kind of like Donovan said, they might be the best whatever. They'll be better at it than you are. I had one guy, he's kind of like what you're talking about. I could load this dude up, and then by 2:00, he's pulling in. Boop, done. Just right. You could put 6 jobs on him. 2:00, here he is again. And his problem is he got paid by the hour, and at this time I wasn't able to pay. This is because we had sold the business, and it's like, dude, you're kind of screwing yourself by getting here at 2:00, and you're just making the company money, and you're not even making yourself money at this point. But it didn't matter. But when he worked on commission, shoot, he loved it, because he raked it in big time at that point, because he could do $2,500 worth of work in 6 hours, and he was back at it, and it didn't matter what you did. So just treat your employees right, treat them with respect, treat them with what treat them with what you would want to be treated as yourself. And again, another thing you had said that I want to kind of hit on, it's not all about money a lot of times,
Right.
especially with this younger generation. It's not about money. The younger
No,
generation, it's a lot about, and there's a video that I watched him of where he was giving the bonuses, giving that pat on the back. You're doing a good job. That goes a long way. Find out what their goals are. Find out what their goals are, and if you can make them achieve their goals, they will be as happy as a clown no matter what you do at that point. And Donovan also talked. I did watch some of your videos, so I knew. But he talked, and he even said it here. He wants his employees to be trustworthy, that he can bring them to his own table and eat dinner with them. How many bosses you have like that? Probably not many at that point. So just be an awesome boss can make you have awesome employees at the end of the day. So,
oh yeah.
and
And I'll also throw this in. People are going to make mistakes, and those mistakes are going to cost you a lot of money. Like I want I want people to kind of be aware of that too. I mean, employees are going to make you money, but they're going to cost you some money at times. That guy who's been with me for 9 years, I got a phone call. Hey Donovan, we cleaned the gutters at the wrong house. I'm like, oh, it's not a big deal. Tell him to leave. Well, when we were packing up, we dropped a ladder through his bay window. And I'm like, so y'all went to the wrong house, gave away gutter cleaning, and then threw a ladder through the guy's window. And I was like, what did he say? I was like, is this guy calling the cops on you? Like what's going on? So, like stuff like that, it's gonna happen. We hired a new guy this past year, and it's just like, I hate to sort of like speak this into existence, but when you hire somebody new, mistakes are gonna happen almost right away, and it's gonna cost you money. So I think like the day 3 or something like that, he was in charge of the blowers, and he either didn't lock them up or he left them at a job site, and there goes $1,000 for 2 backpack blowers right there. Actually, I think it's $1,200. They're the big. And so 2 backpack blowers, all right, goodbye, So it's just stuff like that's going to happen. And so, that's another thing. Make sure you're charging enough money that you can afford to cover that. And you can be like, all right, cool, move on to the next job. Go make it up,
don't do that
That's
again.
a big one. Like, allow room for mistakes. People aren't perfect. It's not if it's going to happen. It's when.
All right, I'm going to go here. Benjamin, thank you for the super chat. I told you he would be on. He lived right across from where you used to live, or where you live at now, kind of where you're at. He puts, this is the power washing God talking here. Pure money and words show the love. So thank you. We got another one here is Jeremy Olson. Let me find it. I offer $99 haircuts.
Dude, this is my quarantine hair right here. I actually have a hat that I was gonna wear this whole time, but now you can't see my face.
Right.
So
yeah, this is my wife's like, I'm cutting your hair. I don't care.
I haven't let her do it yet.
Them are some things. All right, so let's move on a little bit here, and let's talk about the challenges. Why did you want to start doing pressure washing? I know we talked about it, and maybe what questions you might have me in starting them in your pressure washing journey.
Let me plug in my phone. My battery's getting a little low.
Okay. While he's doing that, I'm going to see some questions here. I did see one question up here. I got a gutter cleaning job with this commercial pressure washing job. I've never did gutter cleaning before. Any tips?
Yeah. Commercial, you need to put eyeballs on that before you give them a price or commit to it or whatever. Commercial is a different ball game than residential. So commercial gutters, like a residential gutter looks like this. There are some commercial gutters that have built-in almost like gutter guards, and so the opening on it is that big, okay? So you need to make sure that you have access to those gutters before you commit to a price and you need to put eyeballs on it. I've seen a lot of those at storage units and stuff like that, especially with a metal roof. But a lot of commercial gutters, they're a lot larger. Okay. So another thing, you need to know if you can do the work during business hours or do it after business hours. So that's another factor. Charge accordingly. And the other thing is that OSHA will catch you at commercial and stuff like that. So they are watching commercial a whole lot more than they're watching residential. So make sure you know what you're doing. And just keep in mind that, also, where are you going to put the debris when you're done? Because you could have a dump truck load full of debris sitting on the roof, not just in the gutters. So there's a whole lot to commercial that you can really lose out. I got a contract for all the storage units in this area, probably like 40, 50 different buildings, and I've walked away from it because it was just too much of a pain in the butt. So do it, bid it so that you'll be happy. But if you've already gotten the power washing contract, then think about raising that price up and having somebody else do it if it's going to be a pain in the butt, or make sure you can handle it. So hopefully that helps you.
Here's another question, and like I say, we'll move on to that. But this is a good question: is how do you deal with underground clogged drains with downspouts?
Don't. That's part of the service agreement that we will clear out your downspouts if they are not connected to underground drains. If they're connected to underground drains, we got a little borescope that we stick down in there, and a bunch of clogged drains like
Let's see. So Ricky asks, I've gotten no calls from yard signs. I put out 80. What? My phone is still silent. I'm going to tell you to put out more yard signs.
Yeah. Jason, can you hear me right now?
It's kind of cutting in and out. Impact Safety says if you have employees, OSHA is issued guidance on compliance and training requirements during COVID-19. So,
how about now? Is it coming through a little bit clearer?
Yeah, now I can hear you. Yep. All right. So tell me, this might be because of me trying to get on the internet too here. So tell me what have you done to start your pressure washing business, and what can I do to help you with it?
Well, I love all the videos that you're putting together, and I appreciate that you're available for questions every now and again. I would say, what would you prioritize? I got a truck set up. I'm building it all in the back of the truck so that my guys don't have to worry about a trailer. I got a 4-gallon a minute machine. I think you've already told me to up that to 8 probably. And I'm trying to get soft wash set up. I'm doing it out of 60-gallon pickle barrels for a buffer tank, and I'm getting 60-gallon for bleach set up. I'm doing X-Jet, and I guess my question would be, or my statement is, for gutter cleaning AdWords, there's not enough meat on the bone in there after you pay for Google Ads for advertising on Google for gutter cleaning. I mean, that could cost you 20, 30, 40, 50 bucks per lead for gutter cleaning. But if my ticket for power washing is a lot higher, I would think that Google Ads would be the way to go.
So this is kind of a two-part question, and I'm going to hit both parts first. So the first part is kind of talking about what kind of equipment, 8-gallon, 4-gallon, back of a pickup. So this is what I'm going to tell you a little bit about that behind the back of a pickup. A 4-gallon is fine in the back of a pickup. You could go 5.5. You can go 8. The issue you're running into 8 is obviously we're going to need more water flowing in and keeping that tank going. You do have a 60-gallon buffer tank. That's all I run anyway. But if you're running around with 60-gallon buffer tank, you're going to have some weight in the back because you said it was an F-150, correct?
Correct.
So I would probably stick with my 4-gallon a minute for a little while, and in that way, if you get another truck, maybe get a bigger, maybe get a 3/4 ton truck, because either that or you're going to need to do maybe some helper springs underneath of it or something, because you're going to have quite a bit of weight in there in doing it. Yes, you can use an 8 gallon a minute. Yes, that will make you faster. Yes, you can use that buffer tank of a 60-gallon buffer tank. You won't have no problems there. Um, just make it where, obviously, if you can make the reels come off the side versus the back, that'll help you out in your speed. That'll help you some things. Now, you got to worry about, if you're worried about the truck getting dinged up on the side, it's probably going to happen because you're rolling up hoses and that kind of thing. If you can mount them up there where you can roll them up, or if you got electric, that makes it a lot easier too to gain your speed up.
Fords can handle a couple of dings. If it was a Chevy, I'd be a little worried.
Yeah. So found on road dead is okay. So it might look good, but no, I'm just teasing. But so those are some things that I would look at, and I would try to do it. Can we do them out of the back of a pickup all day long? Absolutely, 100%. And if you do a mixer valve, some type of that, you can do roof cleaning and you can do house washing. No problem out of that same 60-gallon setup that you have right now. That makes sense?
Right.
All right, so let's talk about the leads and getting leads and that kind of thing and getting business for you. So the very first thing I'm going to tell you is you got a huge customer list. The
right.
very first thing I would do is hit that customer list every day, weekly. Have somebody on the phone. Hey, we're offering this. We're offering pressure washing. Do you need? That right there alone would probably keep that one truck busy, because I know how big of a list you have. And so if you're hitting that list, letting them know that I might not hit all of the list at once. I might hit this quarter. I'm going to dump, a special out there, a special or something to do something with that, because you have that list already. So with that list, that is the very first thing I would hit, is that list of that kind of thing. With AdWords is another way to do it, and it is a great way. Now, the great thing about pressure washing is if you get an AdWords, if you get a pressure washing lead, even if you don't sell that lead as pressure washing, obviously you could sell that for gutter cleaning. You get them numbers. We pay for the numbers. Guess what? We're going to use it for pressure washing. If we're paying AdWords for Christmas lights, and I know you're doing Christmas lights, guess what? Christmas light customers are our best customers ever. You want to talk about the long-term ROI, or however you want to call it, the long-term ROI is our Christmas light. Because if they're willing to pay $1,000, $1,500, $2,000 for Christmas light, they're going to pay for gutter cleaning. They want their house washed. It's going to be great service all the way around. Does that make sense?
Definitely.
So obviously, if you want to spend money in AdWords, it's fine. We get a lot of business from signs, but you can also do AdWords too. But the biggest thing I would tell you, because I know as busy as you are right now, is hit your customer list, your previous customer list. And this goes for anybody. You want to talk about referrals, that is, kind of referrals and that kind of thing. So, Mr. Cody's being throwing a big funny out here. He put on a super chat for thank you for the super chat. If you need some good before and after pictures, see Jason's page. So he's trying to throw a funny there, but and then Mr. Raymond, he's kind of down there by your area too, I believe, isn't he? Raymond Notorial. He said, "What do I miss?" You missed a lot so far. So. And then here's another YouTuber that is on YouTube and gives a lot of information out, and love this content. Too bad I have to roll out. We're here to start our dumpsters and talking in Louisiana. Stay safe. So that was from David Pressure Washing. So them are some things. But again, this is some things that I would definitely do, especially where you have a large a customer base. I would hit that customer base as much as I could, because that is where that's where your gold is going to be at. And so I know that and I know you were trying to do the package deal for the month, or like trying to do a monthly subscription, right? And if I was you, I would add something in there for one of those packages that you might sell, that you will come and pressure wash their house once a year for them for an extra, $25 a month or something like that. So that way, reoccurring revenue is the best revenue. Yes,
Right.
you might lose it, but if we can get, $20,000 a month, that's just reoccurring, then we're not having to go pound payment every day to try to get this. And it might be a little bit hard to add Christmas lights in there, because if they don't pay, then you would hit it. But if there's a way that we could cut that over the month of, they're paying it already for grass cutting, so why not give 2-3 services for gutter cleaning? One of those services, when we're out there gutter cleaning, we're going to give pressure washing. Does that make sense?
Definitely. So one thing that we're doing is, and it feeds into your earlier question of why are we looking for more ways of offering other additional services. Gutter cleaning is a one-off, and it's a quick job. We've gotten so efficient with it. Like I said, we're done with the house in 15, 20 minutes at most. We got a list of 10,000 clients per service area, and we get 1,000 new clients a year just by yard signs, word of mouth. I haven't sunk but maybe $100 into Google Ads in the last 13 years. So very, very, very little are we doing. If you guys go and check out my website, it is a horrible website. I think I put it together myself in 10, 15 minutes one night, like a year ago, and I haven't done jack with it since. So I think the message that I'm trying to give is that I'm a perfect example that if I can do it, any of you guys can do it, because I'm doing everything wrong. Like these shirts, it only took me 13 years to make these shirts and get a good logo. So, my guys weren't running around in wife beaters, but we were pretty close to it.
Well, and a lot of people will say, what kind of marketing? I had a question. Should I pay this to buy a website or do this? Just because you pay $2,000, $5,000, $10,000, whatever you want to pay for a website, doesn't mean it's just going to be like, here's all this money. It don't happen that way, guys. It does not happen that way.
Yeah, you got to get people to go to your website, and that's what costs money. And the other thing is that Google, they make money on people clicking on that ad. So Google wants people to click on that ad. So all of their, people type in gutter cleaning. It's great if you got SEO. I'm not saying that that's bad, but if you pay for that ad, now my website's just as good as yours. And if you get a professional person doing your Google ads, they're going to build a landing page for you. I mean, that's landing page is just as good as your website. I'm sorry for, all those guys who think you got this amazing website, but that's what we did for Christmas lights. I paid a guy, I think it was $3,000 for a website. It's a great website. It's a beautiful website. And then I paid another guy to do a landing page and Google ads for me, and I think I spent $3,000 there. Guess which one gave me more money?
The $3,000 in Google ads.
$3,000 in Google ads, and that came with a landing page. And I looked at that and I was like, why did I just pay this other guy $3,000 for the website? Like the landing page looked just as good. So, but here's another alternative that I want to throw out there for a lot of the power washing guys is that, I'm not exaggerating when I say 1,000 new clients a year cleaning gutters. And so a lot of people hear like 1,000 clients, and if you say that your average ticket for power washing is $750, they're thinking, wow, you just did $750,000 in power washing. So that's probably not going to happen year one, but I've helped 2 or 3 or 4. I've personally built 3 gutter cleaning businesses, and in year one, we got 1,000 clients. So one of my goals right now, if not for this whole coronavirus thing, we were going to be expanding into 3 other cities in North Carolina this year right now. We put a hold on it because of the whole coronavirus thing, but we're rolling in with doing gutter cleaning because it's easy to get clients and it's easy to get a lot of clients. Come springtime, we're offering power washing, and we're retargeting our clients, and we're not even, we're not slowing down on the gutter cleaning either. And then come October, November timeframe, we're rolling into Christmas lights. So seasonally, what we're doing is we're taking advantage of when it's easy to get clients. When leaves are falling right now, everybody's gutters are filled up with seeds from the springtime. I mean, people are on Facebook, people are on Nextdoor. Everybody's like, do you know any gutter cleaners? Go and get 500 new people giving you their information right now. Even if you can't do all of them, say, once your schedule gets filled up, double or triple your price, but keep their contact information. And then when you slow down here in November, or maybe even before then for power washing, and when you those good, easy clients that I don't have to pay for them. Right. So we got, for Christmas lights, I think I got in a 6-week time period last year, I had 400 people message me and give me their contact information based upon photos that I put on Facebook. Well, those 400 people didn't cost me a dime besides 10 minutes of putting a couple of photos out there, Christmas lights. But now I have their contact information, and we're retargeting them for gutter cleaning, and now I'm retargeting them again for power washing. So that's, it's a symbiotic relationship, I guess, between my clients and the services that we're offering. But it's, I love gutter cleaning because everybody needs it. It's recession proof. We lost about $10,000 last month, but we're back up. Or no, in March we lost about $10,000. But for our size of business, that's not that big of a deal. But we're back on track and had our best month this past month. So during all this whole coronavirus thing, we had our best month ever.
So we're talking 400 or 500 customers. How much is your average ticket for a gutter clean out?
$125, $150.
So, you can make pretty good money doing gutter cleaning in 1 year.
Yeah. So we run a 2-man crew, and our goal is $300,000 per 2-man crew.
So $600,000 just doing gutter cleaning. There's not many businesses out there, and I'm going to tell you what, there's not a lot of doctors making that kind of money either. Now, I understand there's a lot of cost and stuff involved in it, and, there is a lot of stuff that we got to deal with it. But we're not talking a big company either. We're talking 7 people, and we're kind of doing that kind of numbers. And that's just gutter cleaning. So there is money in doing this stuff, and pressure washing is no different. Again, we got to get clients, and what he was talking about gutter cleaning, that's what we're going to do in that kind of thing. So I got to go back up here real quick. Thank you, Raymond, for the $10 super chat. He said Jason Guyman for pressure washing president. So I don't know if I want that. I know some other guys had that name, and that didn't work out so well for them. So Ray Notorial is Vanilla Ice. Love your videos, man. Great job. What do you tell your customers when they inquire about gutter guards? I discourage them as much as I can.
Ditto.
Yeah, I always tell them they ain't worth it because I've cleaned many gutters with gutter guards and they didn't work worth a crap. So,
yeah, I mean, if they've already bought them and they're gonna pay somebody to install them, they might as well pay us. We charge a premium. But I tell them, just keep in mind you're still gonna have to have your gutters cleaned out once or twice a year. If debris sits on top of it, it acts as a dam. Water's gonna hit that, and instead of just overflowing, it's gonna go back in towards your roof. And we've had 10 clients, no joke. We've had 10 clients had to replace their entire roof or rotted out a year or two after installing gutter guards because they thought that once they install guards, that they just don't have to do anything. So
Benjamin Baker put, we had our best month ever this year, and he is in the Zanesville area, I believe, or he's actually a little bit north of it. So, but he's in that type of area where you was before. But let me see here. So tell me a good success story that you've had in the last year.
Well, I met this guy named Jason Guyman. No, I met Fred Zimmerman. So Fred's a great guy. He's goofy. I love him. He 2 years ago he talked me into doing Christmas lights, right? First season, I think we did like $8-9 grand. And then last year, I nerded out on all your videos and we just doubled down. And I think our business was running some debt, but It got to the point just, I think last year, we did $85,000 in a 6-week time period doing an additional service that you taught, you taught me how to do it. So that was really dang cool. And there's not a whole lot of debt that can survive, 85,000 bucks in a month period. So that was pretty cool. Wiped out any debt, gave us a nice little buffer tank for the business. So that was pretty awesome. And power washing, it's been one of those cool things that it's a service that had this lady who lost her job and due to the whole coronavirus thing, and I was able to kind of go out and do the work for her for free because she's been a long good time client with us. And gutter cleaning, it's not real sexy, right? But power, it's taking crap out of the gutters and throwing it on the ground. So you give somebody like a free gutter cleaning, and it's not, there's nothing real glamorous about that. People are grateful, but it's like, I could have paid somebody $100 and gotten it done. But she lost her job. She's on a little bit of a tough time, and we were able to do like a free, took care of her whole house and stuff like that. And she was crying. She was so grateful. So we've gotten some really cool things, and I consider that a success story. That just being able to give back, having a business that's successful enough that I can afford to give back when I think that it's worthwhile cause.
That's awesome, dude. That's awesome. Benjamin Baker, this is kind of another good question from you. Thank you for the super chat again. Jason, do you primarily reach your previous clients like for a special or event by email, or have your office call them? I'm going to ask Donovan this question. I'm obviously, we, as my business, what I would do is I would always try to, we kept in contact with our past clients, whether that was always through email usually, but we also would try to do once or twice a year, we would try to call them on the phone, whether that's the spring cleaning or it's getting ready for Christmas lights or Christmas lights, pressure washing, whatever we might need there, so that we can start booking these people up. So that is kind of how we would reach our past clients. On the commercial side of like condos, obviously we were keeping in contact with our customers all the time with emails. We would send them out once a month, once every other month. Just checking in, see if you need any pressure washing. Hey, it's getting fall. Do you need any gutter cleaning? Hey, do you need any Christmas lights? And so we would follow up several times a year. This isn't just one thing and done. It's something that we got to keep following up and doing. What about you, Donovan? How do you keep up with your past clients?
All of it. We email, we text, and we call. Yeah. Now again, we're dealing with thousands of clients, not hundreds of clients. So picking up that phone and calling everybody takes us all year. Right. I mean, there's not enough time in the year to call all of our clients in a year. So we email every 3 or 4 months. If we get a hurricane that comes through, that's a great opportunity to give back. And my philosophy is give value when you're getting in touch with your clients. Don't sell them. I mean, I'm not trying to put down any of these sales guys. I've heard a couple of people on here with all these sales tactics and how to talk people into signing up for. My theory is any no will do. You say no to me, okay, great. I'll get back in touch with you in a month. Like, don't piss people off. That's any no will do, and don't piss them off. I've already earned their business. They already like us. The last thing I want to do is spam them every day so that they ignore me when I go and I send them an important email. So we're emailing them probably 3 or 4 times a year. You can run a report, depending upon who you're using out to send your emails. You can run a report for the unopened. So you run an unopened report, and then those people, shoot them a text message. So that way, if you're not getting enough business through your email marketing, you can follow up. Once you start slowing down from those emails, or you know that you're going to slow down, send out that text message to an unopened report. Send that text message out, and you're not spamming people then because they didn't open your email to begin with.
Right.
And then if you got the time, get the office ladies to pick up the phone and call. So I look at how many minutes they're on the phone or how many phone calls they're making. And so my goal is either like 3-4 hours a day on the phone or like 100, inbound and outbound. I think it's like 70 phone calls. It averages out to what you can do. But we do all of that. Stay in touch with them, and again, give them value. If there's like a hurricane that comes through, hey, I know you just had your gutters cleaned. We're running a special, $50 off for anybody who had their gutters cleaned last month if the hurricane dropped any debris on your roof again. And people love that. And something that you might not think about, people who are afraid of getting back in touch with their clients, is that we've also noticed a huge spike in referrals every time we send out our email campaign. So even though they may not hire you, you're getting fresh on their mind that you're the go-to solution for them. And when their coworker or when their sister or their person at church asks, they're going to recommend you because you're fresh on their mind.
And I love what you said, Donovan. Don't be salesy. Give value when you're emailing them. Give value. Tell them, hey, this is why you can, this is why you need to do it, or give value of, just giving value. Maybe you did give that stuff away, and that just give value. If you give value, it will come back to you tenfold. If you give them value.
I want to be clear. I don't mean give a discount. That's not what I mean. Like, we don't do discounts. I don't do discounts. That's like evil to me. Okay. I've just started doing discounts as a one-time thing if you sign up for my recurring plan. But what I mean by give value is say, like, hey, the busy season is coming up in a month. Pre-book. I'm getting in touch with my current clients so that they can pre-book before we open up the schedule to new clients. We don't want you guys to contact us and have to wait 2 months to get on. Right there, you're giving value. You're advertising your service, but you're giving value. Hey, if you want to get on the schedule, do it now, because if you call us in a month, it ain't going to happen. Right. So when they call you in a month, you say, I'm sorry, like I said in the email, we're booked up for 2 months. Can you wait? So, that right there is a simple little give value thing. And that also allows you to, your busy season, you use your customer list to start your busy season earlier, and you use your customer list to extend your busy season. So, yeah.
Yeah, don't stop when you're busy. Don't stop marketing. I'm going to give a little bit of a thing here. If you got customers, you can use textmagic.com, and you can do some mass text and hit a lot of people at once. And that is something that you can do. Obviously, we don't want to spam this. We don't want to hit text magic a lot, because that can piss people off if you're texting them all the time and you're blowing them up, and that's not the key of it. The key of it is hey, are you thinking about something? Or we can even use this as, hey, happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day. I hope you have a great Mother's Day. Blah 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 blah. Here's a special for you, or here's, don't forget about your gutter cleaning, or something like that. Just be on top of mind. Be there. I heard on a podcast the other day, it takes 30 touches for a customer to buy now. So we need to get them touches as much as we can. It used to always be 7, and then I heard it went to 11, and then about a year ago I heard it went to 24, and then the recent one was 30 touches. So we got to give touches. So by Donovan giving out signs, every time they see a sign, that's another touch. And if he's putting out 50 signs per crew, which he's got 2 crews, 100. He's putting out 400 signs a month. Them are touches of trying to get them to call you and that kind of thing. So these are some things that, this is why you want to do what I tell you to do, and what Donovan here is telling you to do.
Yeah, I got a video on my channel that I went over exactly what we do to get new clients. I think it's called last year we picked up 2,200 new clients. It's on my channel. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, it's nothing different than what Jason has said. But if y'all want to go check that out, you can look at that video. But I promise you, you're going to be underwhelmed and you're going to be pissed off. Matter of fact, you're going to be pissed off that I got 2,200 new clients last year by doing the same stuff Jason's been telling you to do, and you haven't done it yet. So,
and a lot of this has to do with is two words: take action. If you just sit there and think that, well, I put out 10 signs and nobody called me, you can't just put out 10 signs. You know, you got to put out 100 signs, 500 signs, 1,000 signs.
And the thing is that if you're buying 10 signs, they're costing you $10 each. If you're buying 100 signs, one color, they're costing you $1 each.
Right.
You know, or if you're buying 300 signs, they're costing you 79 cents each. You know, or whatever. You know, so the more you plan on doing, the less it's going to cost you.
Right.
So you penny pinchers, there you go. Do more. It'll cost you less.
So I didn't mean this to be all about gutter cleaning, but I do have the gutter cleaning king on here, so that's kind of how it got onto the gutter cleaning king. But we're not just talking about gutter cleaning either, because we also talked a lot about marketing here, and this is probably one of the most important things. You know, I can teach anybody, literally anybody. I taught many 18-year-olds how to clean houses. Most of the guys we hired were 18, 20, 21 years old. And they did all the pressure washing. I can teach anybody how to do that. The thing that's hard to teach is how to get customers. And it's not hard to get customers. You just got to do things to get those customers. And, you know, like I said before, I can teach anybody to pressure wash. I can teach anybody. I've taught probably 50 people how to pressure wash on a house. That's easy. The hard part of it is getting customers so that way you can stay in business. And talking about business here a little bit, that's another thing. You know, again, I can teach anybody how to do pressure washing. How to do business is another thing. And Jason, what do you mean by doing business? Well, are you getting paid? Are you sending your invoices out? Are you following up with it? Them are the hardest things about it. So Donovan, what is your kind of cycle to keep up with a lot of that stuff?
I use Jobber and I use software. I am not I'm not good at monotonous stuff. I'm not good at doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. And I got this thing they call ADHD, or bunch of alphabet letters. Okay, so I'm not good at all that. So I find people who are good at it, and I pay them to do it. But I use software that keeps me accountable, and everybody is accountable to the software. There's plenty of software out there. There's House Call Pro, there's Service Monster. I mean, there's 10 different ones out there that are amazing. Get some good software, get a good CRM, and be accountable to it. If you do that, my wife is in charge of the office. She's in charge of the office ladies. She is a melancholy. She is a detail-oriented. She is that is her. She went to business school. She knows all the fancy way of doing it. She was working 8 hours a day to keep up with our little tiny business at the time, and that was a minimum day. We switched to Jobber, and her day went down to 2 hours a day. And she was like, I feel like I'm not important anymore. Like, no. Like, now you can, just that's 6 hours a day.
You can focus somewhere else.
You could go, and especially if you're a one-man show. Like, I started as a one-man show, and, I spent 15, 16 hours a day, 7 days a week, just hitting it hard, doing everything I could, just working as much as I can. I remember there wasn't a day that I wouldn't fall asleep while driving. I was that tired. Like, every day in a row, I would fall asleep while driving. So, I've been there. I've done that. I've tried just like outworking it. And just take it from me. Like, I'm not exaggerating when I said I fell asleep every day while driving because I was just trying to outwork it and do it all myself. It goes back to what I said about the employee thing. You need to know what you're good at. You need to know what your employees are good at. Set yourself up for success. So, do what you're good at. Get some software. Get something that you can be accountable to. You can be accountable to Jason's channel. You can hop on. He's on here 2 times a week. You could be accountable to the channel by just saying, hey, I I got 10 new clients this week, or hey, I put out 20 signs this week, and Jason will give you a big thumbs up, and you can be accountable to Jason. So, you know, find software, find something to be accountable to, and that would just be my advice, you know.
That's awesome, dude. I agree 100%. Accountability goes a long way, and it can push you to do great things.
Well,
And
I know you're trying to wrap up, so I'll give the flip side of that. I helped a gentleman start a business a few years back, okay? Gutter cleaning business. I got him, we were 50-50 partners. I got him up to 700-800 clients. He then thought he knew everything. I said, "All right, cool, great. It's all yours." I walked away. I didn't take a payout or anything. He was not accountable to the systems that we put in place, okay? And a year, 2 years later, he gave me a call. He said, "The last straw is I'm getting audited. I'm done." I purchased the business back from him, and I went through his records, and his bad debt, his receivables that he hadn't collected on, the first 30 days, I collected more in bad debt from his business than I purchased his business for. So I got free trucks, free equipment, free, I got all this stuff for free because he wasn't accountable to software that was right there in place. And, he wasn't just following, he wasn't accountable to it. So for us, it's pretty easy. If there's an invoice there, pay the invoice. We take credit cards. And on day 7, they get an automated reminder. And, on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, we do our invoice follow-ups and we do our quote follow-ups. So the after 7-day mark, same thing for quotes. We give them 7 days without bugging them. And then the next week, on a Monday, they're getting an email. On a Wednesday, they're getting a text message. And on Fridays, they're getting a phone call. And that happens until they approve the quote or deny the quote. Any no will do, or until they pay the invoice. Last thing is, if you're having trouble collecting, knock on that door, okay? Or call the wife. I guarantee you call the wife, she will get the husband to pay that bill. So.
all right, I got some more questions here. That is gold right there. I love that. I love that about how you're talking about collecting and following up. And follow up is definitely key. Follow up is really key of it. But Kenneth Yoder put, "I've just bought 100 signs. I'm still building my trailer. Jason, can you teach me how to run a pressure washing business?" I can. You can go to pressurewashhelp.com/training. There, I got all my information. I would highly suggest you do the premium plan so you can have access to Jason through Voxer. Or I would really highly suggest you come and do the in-person training. I am having one, as long as COVID don't do nothing stupid, on May 29th. It is a one-day class. And so he asked that question again. Thomas Harris came to my class, my last class right before COVID happened, and he has been killing it ever since then also. Jason, do you have to get insurance in the beginning? I would highly, highly recommend it. It is something that you don't have to. If you have a big enough payment, I would get insurance. I wouldn't even take the risk. It's not even worth the benefit of risking it. I'm going to tell you to just get insurance. It really isn't worth the risk of losing everything you have. I mean, is the chance of burning down a house out there? Absolutely is. I know I have a local guy here. He's a preacher, and he did a house, and he did it for real cheap, and the next thing you know, water got down into behind the water meter and fried the whole inside electrical panel. Fried, I mean, burnt to a crisp. So there is things that was that controllable? Probably not. Unless we might have taped around the box. Who knows? But that thing that did happen. So he had insurance, which they were getting ready to redo the house anyway, and he was lucky to do that anyway. So, and so that is something. Another question I have is, Jason, do I need a buffer tank for a direct drive pump? I have plumbed about 4 or 5 of these direct drive pumps, and I've been able to use a buffer tank on every one of them. You just got to make sure you get all the air out of them, and eventually, and maybe get it started prime, and then once it primes, you'll be fine. But I've done it several times. Like I said, I got 4 or 5 builds out there that I did with a buffer tank. So that is something that you can definitely do. But again, we've been here right at an hour. I don't want to keep Donovan too much. hang on, Donovan, before you get off. I'll talk to you after we're done here. But again, thank you all for coming out tonight. I appreciate it. This was gold. This is probably one of my best interviews. I liked it a lot, Donovan. You gave out a lot of great information. And you've always done it, and he does it on his channel too. So go check out his channel right down in the description down here. And give him a subscribe. You can subscribe to mine too if you'd like, but definitely give him a subscribe and that kind of thing. So, Jason, what's that question? Jason, working on my trailer, just wired my Titan hose reels. Saw your video. Did not put an inline fuse. Do you need it? I would put a circuit breaker. I wouldn't put the fuse. I would probably put a circuit breaker. You can get the 40 amp or 60 amp circuit breaker from either any of your parts stores, or you can get it off of Amazon too. But again, this here was gold. This here was something that this is a guy that's been in business for 13 years, not just 1 month, 1 year, 3 years. A lot of these guys been in business 3 years, or trying 3-4 years, giving all this information that they don't really know for sure. He's been doing it for 13 years. And what I've always said is the best way to learn is School of Hard Knocks. School of Hard Knocks will teach you a whole lot. When you have to open up your wallet and you start shelling out money for School of Hard Knocks, you learn real fast what you need to do and what you need to change. Maybe there's a process and something in your process that you have to change so that you quit shelling out money. And so these are some things that we definitely want to look at. And that's why I love having people that have been in business for so long, and not just been in business and making it, but being in business and being successful. We're talking a guy that's making, his business has made, $500,000, $750,000 doing gutter cleaning. Who would ever think you can make that at doing gutter cleaning? There's a lot of people would tell you you're crazy, and it's not crazy. It's definitely something that I wanted to tell people. So again, check out my videos. I have a whole lot of videos coming up. Go check out pressurewashhelp.com/training. In that training, I've added a bunch of videos. I'm getting ready to dump a bunch more videos. I've been in the last 3 days in editing mode. I've worked probably 25 hours just editing videos for this class. This class will be going up May 15th. I am raising the price of my pressure washing membership class. So go check it out. Go jump in there and get in on why it's still cheap. And you will learn a plethora of information. So that right there is something that you can definitely go do. I'm adding videos in there of how to clean everything, and not only how to clean it, but the steps, the processes that you need. And I'm also putting check sheets in there, so that way you can use your check sheet, and everything will be in there. Go check it out. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next week.